Going for a walk and we're gonna answer a lot of questions. There's a lot of questions this week, so we can get some out of the way. Yeah, the song's stuck in my head because I'm going for a walk. Hi, my name's Cara. I'm your Tuesday host on The Pagan Perspective, and this week we are answering several questions. I'm calling it Quick Answer Week because they're all what I think should be quickly answered questions, and I'm trying to get a lot of topics out of the way so we can get to new ones. The first question I need to answer is yes, I am sunburnt, and yes, I am wearing a shirt. I don't know what you can see in the frame. Going for a walk now, we're gonna answer a lot of questions. I can't stand silence. Is that required for meditation? I know that I have read books that said I do. No, of course it is not. And the first thing I would like to say is that a book should never tell you that one specific way is how to do anything. And if it does, it's probably not a good resource. Most books that you'll find, if it's a good book, if it's really a truly good source for that thing, it will tell you this is one way to do it. Doing it silently is one way to do it. Other people like to do it guided meditation. Other people like to have music playing, blah, blah, blah. It will give you options. Whatever books have told you that you need to have silence to meditate, those are not good books to be reading. Yeah, there are things like guided meditations where you can listen to someone telling you what to visualize and what to go through. You can play music in the background. It's whatever works for you. Some people do need entire silence. Other people don't. I also wonder if it's bad that I don't do a lot of rituals and more spells than anything else. I was just wondering if that would seem wrong to others. Yeah, to some people it might seem wrong. To me, it does not. Some people are really focused on ritual, so it's very important to them, but others of us, it's not as important. And I know for me, I have done more spells than I have ritual until just this year. I've started doing more because I'm working through that book. Still, no, I don't think it matters. Mostly I'll just do a spell here and there whenever I think it's necessary. So no, I don't think it's wrong. Are commanding oils ethical to use, or do they go against another person's free will? I'm glad that this question was asked because it required me to look it up and learn something new. I had never heard of commanding oils before, so I looked it up, and just in the few things that I found online, I did a Google search and that's it. And so the first couple things that came up, one definition was that from the hoodoo classes of different types of spells, commanding, controlling, and oh shoot, I don't remember, but I have the link to the Lucky Mojo website that I found it on is below, but it's like 3 different types of classes in hoodoo spells, and by that definition, it sounds like commanding oils and any commanding thing, commanding sachet, commanding whatever, is meant to give you control over someone or something or some situation. It is meant to give you power, make everyone kind of follow your command. But if you choose to do that as that kind of thing, like, yeah, I'm gonna do this and it's gonna make you bend to my will, obviously that's against someone's will. I mean, that's kind of in the definition. I don't think I would use something that would make me be in control by making other people accept that I am in control. I don't think that's right, but do what you're gonna do, I guess. But then also this other blog that I found, the Witch's blog, she provided a recipe, the link is also down there. She provided a recipe for a commanding oil, and she said that in her opinion, commanding oils are not unethical because she uses them to control herself, to keep herself in control and to boost her confidence. In that way, that sort of use, I don't think it is going against someone else's will because you're only controlling yourself. That is definitely your will. Sounds like it can go either way. It depends on what you need it for. And all of the other sites that came up on the Google thing were all like, do as I say, commanding oils, blah, blah, blah. And like, you know, when it's called do as I say, yeah, I think that's not something you want to be doing, but that's just my opinion. I wouldn't do it. I know plenty of you would, so totally personal preference, just my opinion. Should you write in your Book of Shadows every day or only when you're doing the craft? I do not write in my Book of Shadows every day. I write in my Book of Shadows when I have something to write about. I have one book where I put things that I want to remember, like what different colors are associated with, what is associated with days of the week, planets, herbs, crystals, blah, 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 and I keep all that information there, and, you know, how I cast a circle, what I say, some prayers that I incorporate into my rituals, blah, blah, blah. That all goes in one book, and then I have another journal where I write down all of the spells that I've done, and anytime I do a ritual where recently I was supposed to do one from this book that said pick a tarot card for each thing, and so I wrote all that stuff down. So what I write down really depends on what I'm doing for that day at that time, but I never write in it every day. The only way I would be writing in my Book of Shadows or journal or whatever every day is if I was doing a spell every day, or if I had some kind of insight every day, or if I was meditating every day, which is actually a really good practice to get into, but I don't personally do it. So if you're the kind of person who is doing something like that every day, for sure write in your Book of Shadows every day. I really think you should be writing down everything so that you remember, recording everything. But if you don't do that every day, then no, you don't have to write in your Book of Shadows every day. Do if you want to, sure. Like you can do like a daily journal of your life path. I mean, you could easily come up with an entry every day by talking about what the moon phase is like, what time of year the season it is, if you don't follow the moon, if you go more by the sun, and just talk about how you feel that day and start kind of recording how different elements in nature make you feel. Like, how do I feel when the moon is in this phase and the sun is in this sign, and, you know, stuff like that. If you're into that, you could easily come up with something to write down every day, but I don't. So here's the last question. Wondering if you guys could address the question of practicing magic and being part of a ritual while pregnant. Read Dion Fortune's book, The Work and Training of the Initiate, and she warns against being part of a ritual while pregnant for possibly having a fairy child being born. Do you think it's potentially dangerous? Thoughts, comments, opinions? Thanks. And I can't really answer it that well because I have not read that book, and unfortunately the part that would be talking about this is not available in the Google Books sample, so I couldn't actually go and look at exactly what it said. But you know, if you go on the Google Books and you search pregnancy in this book, it'll come up with a bunch of stuff. Apparently she talks about pregnancy a lot in this book, but I didn't find that exact quote, and then I looked up fairy child and it talked about there, you know, a lot of the time there is a changeling or a fairy child and blah blah blah, but it cut off and it wouldn't let me see the rest of the quote, so I don't really know what it was saying. I don't know about it in the context of this book. I don't know if it's specific to that tradition or that blah blah blah, because I think from what I've read that it's more ceremonial magic and it is more focused on ritual, so I don't know if there's something inherently within that practice that would make it a problem for you to do ritual while pregnant, but I personally see no problem practicing magic or doing ritual while pregnant or while any other thing, except maybe like if you're sick or, you know, mentally not in the right frame of mind to be doing magic. I feel like you need to have a sharp mind and you need to be healthy enough, but I don't think pregnancy is any reason to stop participating in ritual. In fact, I think it's a very powerful time for women. Definitely, you know, watch what you consume and things like that. Like, don't be continuing to use alcohol in your ritual, and don't be smoking, and don't be doing all these other kinds of things, and watch what kind of oils you use, if anything at all. Any kind of herbs or anything that you're using could have an effect on your pregnancy. Definitely watch that. But as for just doing spellcraft or participating in a ritual while pregnant, I don't know why that would be a problem. Like I said, I didn't read the book, but in my opinion, I don't know why it would be wrong. So if it is, that is something that is beyond me. But I definitely wouldn't think, like, you know, in the future, because eventually I plan to have my own family, have kids, it would never occur to me to not do magic because I am pregnant. So that was the last little quick answer question that we had for this week, and next week is subs week? Yeah? So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day, enjoy the rest of your week, and I will see you next time. And it's almost the solstice, so I'll see you in a couple weeks if next week is subs week. And yeah, I've already said it. Thank you very much for watching. Blessed be. Goodbye.